I didn't start making a living off beats until I started offering artists more than just beats, something else other than just beats. I mean, you got to think about it from a business perspective. What does, everybody says, oh, nobody has my sound, this and that. And that's all good and all coming from our perspective. But, from an outsider's view, they're looking at it as a bunch of producers. So as another producer compared to another, what can you do for the artist after you make the song that will benefit them? So that's another aspect that they look at. And that tends to gravitate a lot of people.
One, two, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host, Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
What's up, Beat Grinders? This is another episode of Beats Grinding Life. I'm your host, Siren, and today we got with us Chico Star. Chico Star is a producer hailing from Miami, Florida. He is part of the movement BDL for Life Entertainment, where he serves as the vice president, the president, engineer, and A&R. Hey, the man wears many hats. His production credits include Jadakiss, Terminology, Little Scrappy, Chris Rivers, Royce Rizzy, and many more. Yo, what's up, Chico Star? How you doing, bro?
What's good, bro? Another day, another dollar, bro.
Oh, yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. I know about that, man. All right, man. Well, I'm glad to have you up on the show, man. Like I said, man, your resume speaks for itself, man. You're a seasoned producer, putting out mad hits, man. So thank you for being up on here, man. Yeah, if you want to expand,
bro, it's all love, bro.
All right, man. If you want to expand on that intro, man, please do. Let the listeners know a little more about yourself.
Well, basically, I started in Miami. I spent a little bit of time in Orlando. That's really where I got my start in my career. I started producing for a few local acts in Orlando. Then after that, I came back down to Miami, started producing for YouTube sensation Stephen Joe. You might know of him as a funny guy. He's on YouTube. He does like a bunch of like videos and stuff of him doing like public pranks, but he also does music too. And I mixed a large portion of his music for a couple years, produced some of his well-known songs. So yeah, man. After that, I ended up getting with BDL for Life with Black Ice. And yeah, man, me and my nigga, we just fucking built that shit. And I'm glad, I'm proud to say, to see where BDL for Life Entertainment is, now.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I know it's a great feeling, man, just to see something start from nothing to something, I mean, just to see growth and just know that you were a part of it, man. That has to be a dope feeling.
And it takes a lot of determination, man. A lot of people think that it's a one day process thing, man, and it's not. It could take years and years of footwork, man, especially if you don't have a budget or much of one to work on. It's gonna take that footwork, and you have to be willing to do that footwork, to really make progress, and for people to actually see that progress.
Dope, man. That's what's up, man. Sweat equity, man. That's all you got is your work ethic, man. So, okay,
exactly.
Man. All right, man. Well, man. Before BDL for Life, man, and before you hooked up with with all these artists, man, I want to know your start, your humble beginnings, man. How did you get into music production? Where did it all start off for Chico Star?
Oh, man. All right, well, I was 12 years old. I think I must have been 11, 12. I think I was 12 years old. And my uncle had this, he got this new Mac computer. He deals a lot with, video editing and shit. And one of the programs in that Mac was this program called GarageBand. which he introduced me to that shit, and the rest was history. I basically got that garage band. I was over at his crib every weekend. I started ditching because I used to play baseball. I started ditching baseball to start making beats at his crib on the weekends. So I just started learning more and more about the program until I got like a little Mac Mini myself, and that had GarageBand in it, and I basically learned how to utilize the program, and that's how I started making beats.
That's
pretty much self-taught.
Okay. So your love and passion kind of switched and went from baseball to beats, huh?
Oh, drastically, man. Drastic. Nah, baseball was my passion. That was my first love right there, man. If you would have asked me at 11 years old what I was going to be, I would have told you I'm going to be the next second baseman for the New York Yankees. I would have told you some crazy shit. I would have been in the MLB or some shit. But yeah, man, music pretty much changed the whole direction of my life, man.
That's what's up, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, usually the second question we ask is what's the first piece of equipment or software that you started off with, but looks like we covered that, man. It was GarageBand. Did you have any any controllers to go along with that, like a keyboard or anything to go along with the GarageBand when you got it?
Actually, when you first said that question right now, it was the first piece of equipment that I had. GarageBand is not really what comes to mind to me. The first thing that I started with was, GarageBand was the first thing, but once you said equipment, I'm thinking hardware, and the first piece of external hardware that was ever brought into the picture. There's an interesting story behind this too, man. My uncle actually got it from this guy that actually used to make beats with Jim Jones. Not Jim Jones, Jim Jonsin. Jonsin. He made Damn It Man for Pitbull. He made a Hotel for Pitbull, but back in this
Miami
when you definitely talk about Florida, yeah, exactly. When you talk about Florida, South Florida producers, that dude's definitely a big name that comes up production wise. But yeah, man, I used to belong to him, and I used to belong to a dude that made music with him, and he ended up selling it to my uncle for $40 that I gave him. My uncle let me know that he would be able to sell it to me for $40. So I just basically slid him the 40. So hey, bro, let me get that beat machine, man. I need some shit to start doing drums with.
Nice. Okay, so
yeah,
what
so that's
kind
basically,
of beat machine
and
was
up to this day, that's what I still use my drums for up to this day.
Is that right? What kind of beat machine is it?
It's a Boss SP505, man. Bro, I wouldn't really be it. It's a pretty old piece of equipment, man. It looks like, I think it's from the late 90s, 98, 97, around there, man. But it still works like a champ.
Hey, that's all that matters, man. I mean, who cares, when it was made or whatever. All that matters is the output, and if it's still producing some pretty good tracks, man, that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah, I could have gotten another beat machine. I could have gotten plenty others, but I more so I kept this one sentimental value.
Okay. When you first got on GarageBand and when you first got that Boss beat machine, man, I want to know who were some of the producers you looked up to, who inspired you when you were coming up.
The first two names that come to mind, which I always tell people that these two guys are the whole reason I started making beats in the first place, man. One of them, which was the first one, was Swiss Beats, man. Swiss Beats, I've definitely looked up to Swiss Beats, man. All the work that he did with X, all the work that he fucking did with Hove. Bro, all the work that he did with everybody, man. Right. Fucking, he has a discography that goes, miles and miles long, bro. And then the second dude was Just Blaze. Just Blaze was I liked Swiss Beats because he represented the producer that got the shine in the videos and everything.
Right.
I liked Just Blaze just for his pure sound, man. Just Blaze had that real, hard sample driven, heartfelt sound, man. And those were the two guys that really influenced me. Above those were, people like Cool and Dre, the Runners, the Heat Makers. Yeah, those guys.
Okay.
But definitely Swiss Beats and Just Blaze, man. Those dudes.
Nice, man. So you know a question's following up, man. I gotta ask you, who won the battle between the two?
Oh, man, come on, bro. I can't believe the way they did Just, bro. Oh, shit. No, real shit, man. Real shit. I kind of felt bad for the way they did Just, but what people don't realize is that, like, in the middle of the battle, they were still neck and neck.
Right.
Just was actually whooping his ass in the beginning. And then, but by the end, man, you could just, see Just was sweating, and then Swizzy's in the other side of the room, looking like he's not even busting a sweat, fucking
right.
with the hey, fucking doing ad libs to his own tracks and shit. Like, he's starting a party over there, with a whole celebrity-filled corner over there. Just Blaze on the other side of the room, and he's fucking sweating bullets and shit. But it was a good matchup. But hey, I gotta say, man, Swizzy gave him that work, bro.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Swizz. You're right, man. Swizz gave him that work. So, yeah, man. It was great for the culture, though, man. It was good for the culture.
Great for the culture. We need to do it more, man. I wish they would have fucking Cool and Dre versus the Runners or some shit, man.
Yeah. Okay. Man, well, you're down there in Miami. You need to put that in somebody's ear.
Oh. Most definitely, man. I think you just gave me an idea.
Man, I heard something about Timberland versus Pharrell. Like
Pharrell.
Yeah.
I heard there was a lot of people like saying that, but I think that was just talk, man. If anything, we would have heard something official by now, man. Right. But yeah, that would definitely be a sick head-to-head. Although I really think Timbo would give him that word.
Yeah. You know what? I can't go either way because at first I thought Just would give Swizz that work. You know what I mean? But
I did too.
So yeah,
Timbo's versatility, man. I just don't. I don't see that happening. But who knows, man? That's all up for speculation.
Yep. Hopefully we'll find out. So all right, man. Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, we always talk about, the good times, and we always want to hail the producer, the guest producers on here, today, which is you. We want to talk about, all of your accolades and your accomplishments, man. But on this next question, man, we can't do that. We got to hop to the other side of the tracks, man. We got to talk about your failures and your setbacks. I want to know, man, what are the hard times have you had in your career thus far? What made you want to break down and cry? What made you want to just give it all up, but you didn't? What major setbacks or failures have you had in your career that you were able to bounce back from?
All right, what a fucking question right there. Okay. Really not many, but there's one situation that always sticks out, like that, in my mind, like that it's that one that's kind of like, the outlining, like kind of like a dark little like failure that I try to keep a secret,
right?
Well,
you ain't gonna keep it a secret on here.
No, here comes the secret. It's coming out right now, man. Nah, man. Back in 2012, I think it was either 2012, 2013. It's right when I got back to Miami from Orlando, man. And they were having an iStandard producer challenge, and this was my first time competing in this shit. I mean, I've judged other like little beat battles before this, so like competing in a beat battle, I thought I was gonna go in there and smash shit, bro.
Right.
I thought I was gonna own everything, and it was like me and about 10 other dudes, and we basically all got I picked the wrong tracks for the fucking for the, because it said producer showcase. So I went and I picked the wrong. Although the dude that I'm about to talk about right now still had that work to give us. But going back from that, I didn't treat it like a beat battle. Right. It was essentially a beat battle. I didn't go in there with beat battling beats. I thought it was like I took the words producer showcase literally. So back to the point. Me and about 10 other dudes got that work that night from the homie S.Fire, bro. S.Fire is a pretty well-known producer in around here in Florida, man. He's done He's done some work with Rocky Fresh. I think he's done some Best Believe. A couple people been on S.5 beats, man. He's pretty well known around here, man. And he lit us up that night, man. I gotta say, he lit us up. So that was probably it, man.
Okay. And how were you able to bounce back from that? I mean, did you have a hard time bouncing back, or I mean, did it do anything to your confidence?
After that, my whole approach to making beats changed right after that night. Nice. That night was actually a huge fucking turning point for me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Usually it's like that with setbacks, right? I mean, they
people think that
back,
success comes from just success. Nah, man. Success comes from a mixture of failures, bro.
Yep.
And knowledge that comes from that failure, bro. All that is you learning, bro. Life is just a big learning process, man. If you haven't failed, bro, you haven't really tried.
Awesome. That's a great quote right there, man. That's what's up. Okay. Man, I know, I've said it on here many times, I mean, the same happened to me. I went to the iStandard Beats of the Beats, a few years ago, and I went and I battled past Beats Grinding Life guest, the Kraken, and he gave me that work, like you said.
And then you ended up giving you a podcast years later.
And then he ended up being a guest on the podcast.
That is cool as shit. That's cool as fuck.
But like you said, I picked the wrong beats, and so, but it's a learning lesson, and now I know, what beats to present next time. So. All
right, so you definitely know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh yeah.
And you just know that I'm not just trying to cover my own asses right now for the audience.
Right. Man, well, that's what's up, man. Well, hopefully the other beat grinders can learn from your mistakes, so they don't make that mistake, and they know, what kind of beats to pick.
Pick the hardest beats. All my beat makers out there that want to go into a quote unquote producer showcase, fuck that. It's not a producer showcase, it's a fucking beat battle. Go in there with your fucking Conan the Barbarian fucking aggressive ass beats.
Right? For sure. There you go. Yeah, aggressive beats. Okay. All right, man. Yeah, well, now we're gonna hop to the other side, man. We just talked about, your setbacks, your failures, the times where you had to put your head down and tuck your tail, but now we're going to talk about the times where you stick your chest out and you're proud. I want to know what moment in your career would you consider your greatest achievement?
Oof. It's most definitely got to be the fucking Jada.
Nice.
Once me and Black got that Jada Verse back for that lawsuit, man, it was a wrap. After that, I ended up mixing the rest of the song. We ended up posting it on SoundCloud not too long after that. It got a little bit over 1 million plays, and we actually ended up releasing it on iTunes a couple months ago. It's been doing pretty well, so everybody out there, go cop that. Black Guys featuring Jadakiss, Lawsuit, produced by Chico motherfucking Star.
Y'all hear that, man? Go cop it, man. Go listen to it. I personally listened to it today. It's a banger. It's a hit, man. So
thank you, man.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Okay. All right, man. Well, I want to know, man, here at Beats Grinding Life, we're all striving for greatness. You, Chico Star, you're striving for greatness, and you're close to it, man. You're definitely reaching it, man. So I want to know, man, they say that, you mimic people that are successful and you will eventually become successful. So we want to know, man, what do you do in a typical day so that way we can model our day after yours?
All right. Okay. So I'm waking up. First thing I always do is I look at my phone. I usually have about a good number of people, waiting for my response on some messages or a call or something. So the first thing I do is wake up. I tend to my, business on the phone. After that, eat some breakfast. Of course, got to stay nutritionized, if that's even a word.
No, but we know what you're saying.
No, it's not. Well, after that, I usually work on some mixing. If I'm not mixing any songs at the moment, I'm usually working on beats. After that, that's probably gonna be like a 2 or 3 hour process. It depends whether I'm like composing some new shit or or I'm going through a whole set, just arranging them one by one. And so yeah, basically I just do beat work for a good 2-3 hours after breakfast. After that, I basically eat. After that, I usually work on some email promo. There's definitely another side to, you know, just making beats behind it, and that's the marketing side. That, you know, that's your promoting and the reaching out to people aspect of it is just as important. I mean, you don't want to make a fire ass beat and end up not selling it. I mean, I was there for, you know, a long time, and I know a lot of people that are still there. And I always tell people, especially beat makers, I didn't start making a living off beats until I started offering artists more than just beats, something else other than just beats.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you got to think about it from a business perspective. What does, you know, everybody says, oh, you know, nobody has my sound, this and that, and that's all good and all coming from our perspective, but, you know, from an outsider's view, they're looking at it as a bunch of producers. So as another producer compared to another, what can you do for the artist after you make the song that will benefit them? So that's another aspect that they look at, and that tends to gravitate a lot of people.
Okay,
so
for the beat grinders listening, what else can they offer potential clients, potential artists? Besides the beat?
Basically getting a hold of some distribution, offering promo, offering blog work, offering if you do graphics, which I've seen a big spike in beat makers or producers that also do graphics on the side. That's a big one. If you could do graphics, you're golden. Just other services, mixing and mastering also, although that's usually the first service that they offer after, you know, so it has to be I think it has to be a little more than mixing and mastering, because, you know, that's a given. Of course you're gonna offer that. But if you could offer something a little bit, you know, out of the box, even if it's just like a middleman connection to a cheap World Star Connect or something, that's valuable.
Yeah, dope, man. All right, man. Well, yeah. Thanks for the suggestions, man. That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, there's many avenues to get money in this business. I mean, the mob, La Cosa Nostra. I was watching a documentary on this shit the other day, man. And they didn't only involve themselves in drug dealing and robberies. No, they involved themselves in drug dealing, robberies, extortion, petty crime. You know, every single lane of crime. If you just apply that same thing to whatever business you're in, you're gonna be finding, you know, a way bigger income. I know this from experience.
Right, and especially, you know, hey, if one avenue gets cut off, you know, you got 4 or 5 different that you can still, you know, generate revenue
exactly. If one's going slow at at one moment, you're still gonna have chances of income from the other lanes.
Right. Dope, man. Dope. Okay, that's awesome. All right, man. Is there so how do you sum up your day after you do your email promotions?
Oh man, I completely
no, that's cool,
went
man.
away from that question.
Hey, that's cool.
Okay, all right.
Hey, right now you were just adding value, you know, to all the beat grinders listening, man. So that's cool, man. Hey, we like when producers go off on tangents, you know. Hey, as long as you're adding something and you're giving value, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, after I usually do my email blasts and my promo stuff, I usually go back to the Mac and start working on more beats, go back to the keys. Whatever I didn't do the day, if I did composition the day earlier that day, I would usually end up, you know, going back and mixing it, or going out and doing some other mixing work on some other, you know, songs that I had working on, recently. If I was doing some mixing work earlier in the day, later in the day, I would, you know, usually make some beats. I gotta make, you know, some beats at least, you know. There has to be something that I'm doing every day. If you go, you know, without an unproductive day, especially if you're doing this for a living, then, you know, you always got to keep on it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I can't remember who said it, but, you know, they said you gotta always keep how do they say it? You know, the exceptions. You know, you have to weed out the exceptions. You know, you can't say, okay, well, I'm gonna make an exception today, and today I won't make a beat, because then that becomes a habit, and then the next day you may not make a beat, or, you know, so you have to weed that out, you know, and you just have to be consistent.
And it's not even about making a new one every day. Maybe you could just be adding to one, but every day there has to be some form of progression.
Right.
Exactly.
Dope. Okay. That's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, just to add on to that question, your day starts at what time and it ends at what time?
Oh, all right.
I mean, I just want to know how long is the grind?
I usually wake up on an average day. Don't judge me, y'all.
No. Everybody's clock is different, man.
I have long nights, so I usually end up getting up probably anywhere in between 10:30 and noon. And basically that goes on to about, I'd like to say, average 4 in the morning.
Nice, damn. Getting it in.
Yeah.
Getting it in. That's
I live in Miami, so, you know. There's always some shit to get into, man.
I hear that, man.
Not even that all the time, man. You know, you just get... After some time, dog, you just get used to fucking, you know, just knocking out at that hour, bro. But it definitely doesn't. It definitely helps with that, man.
Okay, that's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. All right, man. Well, this portion of the interview I like to call In the Studio. Man, we all wish that we could be there with you, man, making beats. But we know that's not possible because you're in Miami, Florida, and we're all over the world, man. So. But the next, I know. Hey, man, I wish I could be in Miami right now, man. But
yeah, man, where it's always popping.
Always popping, man. But the next best thing is this portion of the interview where we get to find out what you do in the studio. So you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. All right, man. What do you do when you first start crafting a beat? Do you have a ritual? Do you light a blunt? Do you turn on your studio lights? Do you start with drums? What do you do?
It used to start with a blunt. Now it's usually after the blunt. I usually start with, it depends on what type of beat I'm making. Sometimes I'm more the trappish beats that I make, like more with a southern influence, you know, like, you know, Drummer Boy type, 808 Mafia type beats, man. I usually start with the drums. When it's something that's more sample based, I usually start with the sample. And I craft everything around the sample. But I always, whether I'm doing the drums first or the sample first, the first piece of drums that I do, obviously, is the kick and the snare or clap. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. All right, man. Well, I want to know, man, what do you got in that studio? What's a not so secret weapon that you can tell us about that's in there?
A not so secret weapon.
Something that you just don't tell any and everybody, but you're so comfortable with us, the beat grinders, that you'll tell us.
Well, I can tell you one little secret weapon that I have. Usually with synths, if you have Logic, there's this plugin called Ring Shifter, and you can put it on any setting. I usually use it for synthesizers, but it usually works for any type of instrument. But I love using it on synthesizers because it just makes it sound way weird and futuristic. But any setting that you put this thing on, man, will just like it makes crazy sounds, definitely different sounds, man. I've definitely made some crowd pleasers with that little ring shifter. So yeah, it's a dope little plugin. So I guess you could call that a little secret weapon in my arsenal.
Hey, thank you for sharing, man. I just switched over from Pro Tools to Logic, so I'm gonna definitely try that out.
Bro, you're gonna find doing MIDI so much easier than in Pro Tools. Really, Pro Tools was built for audio. For some reason, handling MIDI is just easier in Logic. Logic is more crafted for making beats in it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Usually just use the DAW to mix, but I've been starting to make beats in Logic, just to try it out, and it's
yeah, exactly. Usually simple. People make beats in Fruity Loops, then they move it over to Pro Tools, mix the song, or just mix the instrumental. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, man. All right, man. Well, what's all in your studio, man? What equipment and software do you currently use? What's all in your toolbox?
Right now, as of right now, at the moment, I have a Yamaha keyboard. I have the Boss SP505.
Which Yamaha?
I have the DGX205 Yamaha that I'm working with, and I have the biggest part of my my whole arsenal, my baby, my Mac. I have an iMac, and it's not too big, man, but it's what I've used to craft a lot of beats that have put a lot better on the table.
Okay, making that heat, huh?
Oh, you already know.
Yeah. He's like, without a doubt.
I was drinking water right there. So.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I didn't even form the question right. I was trying to come up with something clever, but that's just what came out. So, okay, man. All right, man. Well, this portion of the interview I like to call in the mix, man. We're gonna speed things up. It's rapid fire. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you're gonna answer them right back to me just as quick. And yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. But at the same time, if you need to take your time on a question, please do, because I want these questions to be well thought out. If that makes sense.
All right, let's get it.
All right, man. What do you prefer using, samples or beats without, or do you prefer making beats without samples?
That is a non-answer. I can't really say because I used to be known for strictly making beats without samples. And now, like, half of my beat discography is sample beats, and people know me for being a really, really good fucking sampler. So I can't go either or, because the beginning of my whole career was based off not sampling at all, strictly. It was almost against my Bible for like a lot of years. And then I started sampling. I automatically fell in love with it. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cop out of this question.
Okay. No problem, man. No problem.
Yeah, I just have love for both, man. I have love for both.
You're not the first person to say that, man. Some people say they like you, man. They love both and they can't pick a side, man. So, okay. What's your opinion on selling and leasing beats online?
It's a necessity nowadays. I mean, for a producer, the market is way too big to not do it. It doesn't even have to be your most exclusive material. You could just do it with a sectioned off portion of your beats. But to not even try to do it, there's no excuse for it. It's too big of a market, and it's how a lot of producers nowadays are getting paid.
Dope. Okay. All right, man. What's a plug-in that every producer should have in their arsenal?
A plugin that every producer should have in their arsenal. I'm not really want to speak on this because I'm not a huge gearhead, but the audio units for Logic, they're called Tau Electro. It's this plugin line called Tau Electro, and they're really, really good. They're unknown, but I've been getting a lot of their synth plugins for years, and that's actually another secret weapon that I have in the arsenal right there. So damn it, you got two out of me, man. Shit.
Hey, is it stock? Does it come with Logic?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So I'll have to try to find it somewhere.
Yes, it was on some exclusive website. It was on some, not exclusive. It was actually on a pretty obscure website, but that was years ago, man. And I can't really remember what the website is.
Well, I'm gonna look for it, and I'm gonna try to find a link. So.
My bad. I'm not trying to hold out on you.
No,
bro,
no. I know. But I mean, just for all the listeners listening, if they want to know if they're using Logic and they want to pick up on that, I'm gonna have a link on the website. So under Chico Star.
Well, I ain't trying to hold out on y'all either. So.
For sure, man. All right, man. Well, do you have a book that you recommend every producer should read?
Do I have a book that I recommend every producer should read?
It doesn't have to be a music book. It can be.
Yeah, anything. It doesn't have to be anything music related. There's quite a few books that I read myself, but a lot of them are not widely known books. A lot of them were just like marketing books and marketing packets, like from random places and stuff. It was just random marketing material. But I don't have any book specifically, but I did read up on a lot of marketing stuff, and that's actually that partly changed my life right there. It wasn't only placements that got me a lot of business. It was also reading up on the business side of things that got me doing better in that aspect.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, the more you learn, the more you earn. I used to think that saying was really cliche and really corny, but it's the fucking goddamn truth, man. The more you learn, the more you earn. Ain't even trying to front.
That's what's up, man. I mean, hey, it's called the music business for a reason, you know. Yeah, they say business is 90% of it. Music is just 10.
Unfortunately, yeah, man.
Yeah, yep, unfortunately. All right.
Hey, but it is what it is, man.
Yep, exactly. You just gotta roll with it, you know. You gotta adapt. So.
Yes, sir. That's survival right there.
All right, man. Is there an internet resource that you use that you think every producer could benefit from? And when I say internet resource, I mean like a website or a mobile app.
It would have to be a website with a lot of plugins, and I guess my answer to this question is no right now. Any websites, any specific websites? Is there any like specific websites for? Nah, I have nothing for that fucking question.
You don't go to any websites?
I mean, what, like websites to listen to music or
anything that you think producers could benefit from? So, like, I mean, even if it is a website that for me with music, you know, I mean, maybe a producer can get ideas from hearing other music or get inspired, or maybe there's a website.
The only thing that I would think of what would benefit, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm trying to think of like some websites with plugins, but man, I haven't been on any like plugin websites in a fucking minute. One thing that popped in my head that was I don't have any certain websites, but one advice that I could give is try to get your music on as many websites and publications as possible. That's huge. That's a big one. That's what really makes you Googleable. If you have articles about you and articles about songs that you've produced on actual publications that have been, you know, around for a while and that are known, such as, you know, Complex, Double XL, what else? Desert Storm Radio, what else? There's Fader, there's The Source, there's This Is 50. There's a bunch of places where you could get your music on. And there's actually a lot of other places that you can get your music on for absolutely free. So, like I said, it does take a lot of footwork, but it's definitely worth it. That's a huge part of becoming quote unquote Googleable, as people like to call it nowadays.
Okay, that's what's up, man. All right, well, thank you for that, man. Thank you for those suggestions, man. Because like you said, man, you know, hey, if people can't look you up, like you said, if you're not Googleable. You know, I don't even know if I said it right, but if you know, if you're not Googleable, then hey, I mean, you don't exist, you know. So
especially since we're look, you could get away with that shit if it was 1998, man, but it's 2017, and that's just something about this game that's fucking inevitable by now, man. You need a heavy online presence if you really want to be looked at as a serious emerging recording artist, man.
Nice, dope. Okay. All right, man. Well, they just took down all the faces on Mount Rushmore. There's no more presidents on there. What they want to do is they want to put producers' faces on there, and they gave you the responsibility.
I already knew this question was heading here.
They gave you the responsibility of putting 4 producers' faces on there. Who's all going up on Mount Rushmore?
I have an automatic question. Answer for that question right there. Number 1, in the George Washington spot, must go. And I don't want to hear no hater talk about this shit, because this is the GOAT, whether y'all like to fucking admit it or not. Dre. It's Dr. motherfucking Dre. Dr. Dre would go right there in that first spot. And then the second spot right behind Dre, that head would have to be. It was a battle between, because I really do think that Timbaland is just a tad more legendary of a producer then Primo. But fuck it, let's put Primo second, and then let's put Timbaland right behind Primo.
Okay.
All right? So we have Dr. Dre, all right? We have DJ Premier, and we have Timbaland. Now this is where I have the problem right here, man. The fourth spot. This is where I have this is where I have. Man, this is why I have the devil. I have the devil on my right shoulder, and then I got some other random devil on my left shoulder, man. And one of them is telling me, go with Pete Rock, man. Go, bro. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Soul Survivor. What, bro? Oh, come on, man. Soul Brother number 1. And then the other guy is telling me, bruh, it's gotta be RZA. Wu-Tang, Enter 36 Chamber. Come on, man. So, man, that's a real big one that I have right there. But you know what? I'd have to go with RZA.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, man.
I like Pete's music better. But RZA, I got to give it 36 Chambers. That's all you got to say, man. It's one of the top 3 most influential hip-hop albums ever released, ever. And he produced it entirely. So
yeah, and not to mention all the other solo Wu-Tang artists, you know, produced their albums as well, you know, scored movie films, you know.
How many? Bro, there was Liquid Swords.
Right.
There was Only Built for Cuban Links.
Right. Yeah.
There was Iron Man with the Ghostface one. Which were the other standouts?
Old Dirty Bastards.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Zoo. What the fuck was the name of his?
I can't remember now. But
the one with Shimmy Ya. Brooklyn Zoo was one of the songs on that
singles, shit. Yeah. Was it Return to the 36?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. All I remember is that it had his welfare card on the cover. Yeah, his food stamp shit. Yeah, it had his EBT on that shit.
That's legendary right there. But yeah, man. So I don't know if anybody could be upset with that though. I mean, you know, you talk about the haters, but hey, ain't nobody gonna hate on that, man. Nobody's gonna hate on that.
You know, the ultra left wing hip hop heads always want to go and say that Dilla is the greatest or Primo is the greatest no matter what, but they're great producers, they're legends, don't get me wrong, but you cannot compare when it comes to a legacy of a career. You can't compare, you know, Primo to all the movements that Dre has given us. He gave us NWA. He gave LA its first fucking sound. Then after that, what does he do? He gives LA its best fucking sound. He gives us G-Funk. After the whole G-Funk phase, what does he do? He gives us this like orchestrated, like deep sound that with his what can I use his like still DRE. He started incorporating a lot of live instruments in his shit. So he's reinvented himself so many times.
And the legends
and how many movements has he started?
Right.
And how many legends has he started? Exactly, man. Fuck. So many successful. That's an understatement. So many legends have came from, you know, him being behind that shit. Snoop, 50, Eminem, who else? Ice Cube, Easy. You know, you could count everybody from NWA. They can, like, you know, Dre produced all these niggas. So yeah, man. It's
man. I don't think anybody can argue with any of those four. You know, I mean, you know, and it's all subjective. You know, I mean, this is your Mount Rushmore. You know, and if somebody's mad that Dilla's not up there, that's on them. You know.
Yeah, man. Gotcha.
Okay, man.
But yeah, man, that'll be that's my producer Mount Rushmore.
Cool, man. All right, man. Well, I want you to stay in this imaginative mode, man. I want you to keep those creative juices flowing, man, because this next question, man, I want to know, what's your perfect studio session? I want you to pick one artist, one producer, one engineer, and one random person to all be in the studio with you, making a song. Who would those four people be?
The perfect artist, the perfect producer. Well, I would be the producer, right?
No, well, I'm sorry, I phrased that wrong.
Or from a fan's perspective.
Co-producer. So who's producing with you?
Okay. And I have to pick one artist and one producer.
Yep, and one engineer.
And one engineer. Oh man.
But hey, you can be as creative as you want.
On the boards, I would have to go. I'm torn right now between Young Guru from Rockefeller all those years back and Noah 40. Just because it would be more beneficial to my sound. Well, damn, bro, is that Guru's done some ill shit with the Black album and everything. But I would have to. Let's go with 40 as an engineer, as a co-producer. Damn, dog, I did not see this question because you caught me off. All right, I'll answer you though. Damn, bro. Okay. All right. So I'll go with Noah on the boards. Co-produce. I would have to go. And this is gonna be random as fuck because I didn't see myself saying this, but I could see how this definitely worked, bro.
I like random on this answer.
Yeah, bro, just to have 40 and Boy Wonder both there, bro. Like, because they've collaborated a ton before, bro. Yeah. That'll be crazy. And then Kendrick on the track, man.
Ooh, okay. Oh, man. And so you wouldn't have a random person?
What do you mean a random person?
Just a random...
Oh, just somebody chilling in the...
Anyone. Yeah, anyone. I know you usually don't. I was going to suggest that random person be Young Guru.
Okay, that's... You know what? But, dog, for some reason, fucking Mos Def just came in my mind. Like, he's sitting in the corner of the studio smoking a blunt right now, dog. So, yeah, I'm just go hit the blunt with that nigga.
You know what?
Mos Def, he's always been a person that I've always really respected on the lyrical level, too, bro.
Man, I love that answer, man. I absolutely love that answer because... Besides Boy Wonder and 40, that's just so random. I mean, yeah, I could see Kendrick Lamar working
people gonna
with
think
all
I'm a
people.
total fucking Drake dick rider for that one, bro. the Noah 40 and the Boy Wonder, because they both, his beginning producers. So, but I wouldn't want it to come out like a Drake song.
If you were right, and it wouldn't because Kendrick is on there. I mean, if you were a Drake dick rider, you would have said
even
Drake
production wise though.
Right. But you know what? I think they would do something different for Kendrick because he kind of has a different style. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then the dope thing also is that I think with Mos Def being in there, man, Mos Def likes to sing, likes to harmonize, and so does Kendrick at times. So
yeah, so we could probably do some vocal harmonization in the background, make that shit eerie, put some reverb on that shit, some delay. Fucking make it trippy a little bit, maybe put it through a phaser through one of the bars or some shit, trip people out. Oh man, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, you guys couldn't even come out with the song, man. Y'all'd have to do an album. For real.
Yeah, man, I would definitely be with that, man.
Everybody would want more, so. Okay, man. Well, man, this was probably a home run, man. I think I already know the answer to this question, man, but I gotta ask it anyway. I want to know what song is your favorite song you've ever produced?
I'd have to go with Lawsuit, man. I'd have to go with Lawsuit, and behind that, it would have to be. Another song that I have with another very, very talented artist here in Miami called Chico Black, man. It's called Mi Gente. You could YouTube it. It's also been featured on numerous sites. Including the New Miami Times, DSR, This Is 50, all that. So go peep that on YouTube. Mi Gente by Chico Black, produced by Chico Star. I Am Miami, the EP coming out sooner than later.
Dope. Okay. Well, Beat Grinders, you guys heard it from Chico Star, man. Go check those out. Those are his 2 favorite songs that he's ever produced. So, man, go check it out, man. All right. So, what's an album besides one that you've worked on that you recommend every producer should listen to, and why?
Oof, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one, especially damn. Especially for a modern day producer, I mean, I would have to go with, only because this is the best producer ever self-producing a whole album, and it ended up going down as one of the greatest albums of hip-hop history. But not even because of that, because the sound on that shit is just so original. Fucking Let Me Ride, fucking Dre Day, man, how many more, man? The Chronic, man, it's a fucking classic, bro. There's 3 holy grails of hip-hop, like 3 of those albums, in my opinion, man, like the 3 god albums of hip-hop, man, that's always been in order. In my opinion, this is the order. To me, not much of an opinion at all, more like fact. Nas, Illmatic, all the way at the top. Number 2, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. And number 3, Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers. Those are the 3 most influential albums of all time in hip-hop, if you ask me.
Yeah, you said it, facts. I mean, definitely, man. Nobody can argue with that, man, unless they're dick riding someone else. But yeah, that's what's up,
you
man.
already know.
But out of those 3, you pick The Chronic, that everybody should listen to.
Production-wise, for a producer to listen to, yes, that's the beginning of a whole movement right there. That's the beginning of what hip-hop would be commercialized to be in the 90s. That was it. That was the source.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Beat Grinders. You know, if you listen to the show, that The Chronic has been mentioned on here before. But if you haven't heard it, and please do go listen to it. I'll have a link for it on the website under Chico Star's show notes. So. Okay, man. Well, I want to know what does legacy mean to you? What do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
The word legacy. Well, first of all, the word legacy to me means what the world knows you for. What everybody knows you for, that's your legacy. When you're done and you're gone and all you have left is your name, and when people hear that name, what are they reminded of? The first thing that they're reminded of, guess what? That's your legacy. That's exactly what a legacy is. It's what surpasses you after you're gone. So I'm a big believer in that. And what my legacy would be, I definitely want my legacy to be one of the greatest hip-hop producers that Miami and this world has ever seen.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. Well, man, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep cranking out those bangers like you are, man, and I can see it happening, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man. You already know, man. Ain't shit to do but go up.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay. All right, man. Well, I want to know, man, if you woke up and you lost everything that you had except for your knowledge and $1,000, what would you do in the next week to restart your career? When I say lost everything, I mean you lost, your contacts, you lost all of your music, you lost your laptop,
even the music that you've put out already. If all that's just wiped off the face of the earth, and you can't even Google me no more. Is that what you're talking about?
Pretty much. Almost like you're on a new planet identical to Earth, starting over from zero.
And $1,000.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, starting with $1,000. Yeah, my bad.
And getting back to where I need to be. The only thing I can think of starting with $1,000 is making the product again. Before you even start selling yourself as that dude, you need to make sure that you have that product. So the first thing I gotta do, man, I gotta buy a new kitchen. I gotta buy a new fucking iMac. I gotta buy a new fucking Logic. And that's what the first grand is going for, to start making that heat again, man. And that's my kitchen, my computer.
I like that answer. That's what's up.
Bye, man.
Chico Star cooking. That's what I'm talking about. He got to buy the whole kit. You got to buy the kitchen, man. Okay.
You already know.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, I want to know, what's the greatest piece of advice that you've ever received, and what advice would you have for all the producers, all the beat grinders listening today?
It takes determination, man. It takes way more than fucking talent. If you think talent is it, bro, you're gonna need double the hustle. talent is only half of it. If I really would, really my family member, my uncle, the person that actually introduced me to music production, like the first steps of it. You know, my uncle that I mentioned earlier in the podcast that introduced me to GarageBand, he told me, you know, he always thought I was really talented. If anything, I think he thought I was, you know, more talented than I really was, man. But really, he told me if you think it takes talent alone, if you think it fucking takes talent alone, you're dead wrong. And it took me a long time to finally get that through my head and realize that shit. It took me a good while. I started realizing that in my early 20s that, man, it doesn't only take talent. It takes footwork. It takes hustle like a motherfucker. It takes determination. It takes time. It takes as much as you're willing to give, man.
Nice. Yeah, man. You only get back what you put in. You know.
I think that was the exact point of what I just said, man. For real, bro. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yo, that's what's up, man. Okay, well, man. Thank you for that advice, man. I know that's something that, you know, I need to constantly hear. You know, I'm a producer myself, and you know, I feel like I have the talent, you know, but I don't always have the hustle, and you know, and that's something that I know I definitely need to hear to get the flames, the sparks up under me to get my ass going, man. And I know there's some other beat grinders out there that will definitely benefit from that piece of advice that you just gave, man. So thank you for that, man. Salute. You know, I definitely appreciate it, man.
Definitely anytime.
Okay, anytime. Man. Well, I want to know, man, if you have any more words for the listeners, man, if you want to let them know what they need to be looking out for, what Chico Star is going to be up to, so that they can follow you, man, and how they can contact you if you want to be contacted, man. Here's your chance to let them know.
All right, everybody, go follow your boy Chico Star at Instagram, Chico Star 305, Twitter, Chico Star 305. Go like my Facebook page, facebook.com/ you guessed it right, Chico Star 305. But yeah, man, follow me, get at me. My email is chicostarmusic@gmail.com. I'm always open to work with artists that are serious about their craft and really want to work towards building an actual brand and a career for themselves. I'm always open for that, so definitely shoot me an email. Again, Chico, CHICO, Star, STAR, music, MUSIC @gmail.com. And don't forget to go check out them beats at www.chicostar305.com, nigga, where that fire at. Dale.
Thank you, man. That's what's up. Just let them know what what they need to be looking out for. You know, if you have any projects coming up.
But yeah, man, definitely, bro. Be on the lookout for that I Am Miami EP also. And you know, you could always go Google me. You know, see a bunch of my songs pop up that I produce. Black Ice featuring Jadakiss, Lawsuit, Stevie Serrato featuring Terminology, Sunshine, and Chris Rivers and Stevie Serrato, Underground Villains. You already know. Yeah, man, that's basically it.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Really appreciate you, man. You added value. You dropped some gems, man. You definitely gave me some words of advice that I can live by, and also some things that I can go look up, man. And the beat grinders as well, man. They're going to definitely go and check out everything that you mentioned, man. So I want to appreciate you, give you mad props and salute, man.
Hey, appreciate you for your time, man. Anytime you want me on the podcast, bro, it was my pleasure. Most definitely, man. It was my pleasure doing this, man.
Okay, man. All right, Beat Grinders. Well, want to say peace to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to Beats Grinding Life. Please spread the word. Let everybody know about the podcast, Beats Grinding Life. Subscribe if you can. It really helps out. That helps spread the word as well. And you already know, you've been mentored by Chico Star, and you've been listening to Siren Beats. So peace and keep grinding.
Dale.
Here at Beats Grinding Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinglife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.